Hello everyone, welcome to a World of Warships Blitz video. Today's video is the Tier 6 Premium Commonwealth Cruiser, the Perth. So this is a light cruiser, and you're going to be getting a few of these videos because I am quite taken with this ship. So last month in the Blitz Pass it was the London British heavy cruiser, so I grabbed that. The London's okay, the Perth is amazing. It's essentially a Leander, which I love, with HE and fuel smoke instead of the smoke that the Leander gets. So here we are in the Bay of Storms map. We're starting out, we're trying to provide some reasonable cover for our destroyer, that Farragut there, and the battleship. So trying not to get too far out in front. Now you'll see that I have an incredible detection radius, so the Perth is perhaps the stealthiest of the Tier 6 cruisers, and I have upped it to the max because I have the Concealment modification, historical camouflage, and the high grade coal. So here we have an Okhotnik. We'll send some torpedoes his direction to punish him for standing out in the open like that, while we look for a more suitable target for our HE. So here we have an enemy Perth who's got himself a little bit out in front, so that Okhotnik the Perth is now the scout. He's gonna probably be wearing a lot of return fire, because the problem with the Perth is that it is, unlike the Leander, actually like the Leander, if you get overextended, you get hammered, essentially. Admittedly, the Leander has a longer term smoke to make a better retreat, and here I'm using the smoke for temporary relief. I can see that the timing of the battleship means that I've got some shells coming in, and I can get some better angling going while I'm under the cover of the smoke, rather than trying to do angle in reverse to provide myself with some protection from that battleship in broad sight. So anyway, here's a Okhotnik. So we might as well see how the Perth knife fights, because this would be the perfect sort of thing for a Leander, a knife fight against a destroyer. This is a particularly dangerous destroyer because it has a ton of torpedoes. So this thing can fire 16 torpedoes in a full set of salvos. So we're going to make sure that the angle's bad, put some torpedoes in the water to deny him a firing solution. He goes for the firing solution, so our torpedoes take him out. Nice and simple. So yeah, it does knife fight exactly like the Leander does. And yeah, the spread of 4 torpedoes does the same job that the Leander does. It does have the advantage, however, in that I could put a tight spread rather than a wide spread. So instead of just pinging him and driving him off, basically that took him out. So here we are, essentially what I'd be describing as Belfast duty. So the Belfast is the Tier 7 British premium light cruiser, which essentially I suppose is the equivalent of the Fiji, although the hull stats are more like the Edinburgh. And it basically is a Fiji or an Edinburgh with HE and no torpedoes. And it spends a lot of time at range using its agility to stay a hard target and spamming HE trying to light fires on large ships. And it's fantastic in that role. And the Perth here seems to be doing the same job. Now we can count there's 3 enemy ships out there. This one seems to be well under control, being surrounded on a couple of sides by at least something with torpedoes. So his time in the game is limited. The other 2 are heading up the other side, so I'm going to go through and steal the cap, because I'm not going to be able to contest the cap with those battleships and hold them off. But what I can do is prevent them from taking advantage of capturing our cap by capturing their cap in return, which means they will be, which means that they actually have to start killing ships. And, okay then. That didn't take long, did it? But we're still ahead, and it goes from 5 to 2 to 4 to 1, let's see how we go. So we'll start to try and capture the cap, although we've got some cruisers and destroyers. Those destroyers are obviously a significant risk to that battleship, but those cruisers could be doing it pretty hard up there. I'll move around and see if I can get a better position in which to spot the bad guy. I'm never going to get there in time to land shots on him, so either if they're going to take him down, it'll be long before I capture the cap, or if he's a particularly effective battleship player, he may be able to evade the worst of the torpedoes. Their gunfire is unlikely to make much difference, and we may be able to cap out the enemy team, although it's an Emile Bertin. So he's going for the destroyer. It'll be torpedoes that'll take him out. That destroyer's smoking up quite nicely. And the Queen Elizabeth goes down before we can capture the cap. But still, pretty textbook game in the Perth. Move up and support, clear away destroyers, and then steal the cap. Yep, I've done that in the Belfast before. Yeah, my verdict on the Perth is that it's actually a really, really, really nice ship. So I do like it. If you like the Leander, I thoroughly recommend it. We'll get rid of that. It's a phone wanting to update. 91 main battery hits, 2 kills, 3 torpedo hits, all against the Okhotnik. Hope you enjoyed watching it as much as I enjoyed playing it. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next time.